So if we had to make a meta list of 2022's release characters, let's go over it in order of who I thought were the best releases and the worst. So we're gonna go from worst to best here. So Commodore was an interesting release. He gave us, an image for Gokai Silver at the end of the day. Definitely couldn't really keep up with too much of the meta stuff since that two-hit punch can kind of be a very sick burn to most of his kits. Easy block, takes too much damage from whales, etc., and he wouldn't really be able to fight the way you want him to. Number 12, Xander, started off really bad, too slow, but the update kind of gave him a little bit of an edge, but not the greatest to make him like really meta of the releases of 2022. I mean, his punch move is great. Everything. It's just some of those moves can be a little predictable depending on how you read it. But yeah, Xander definitely stays a little bit below in this 2022 release of new characters. Dane, though I did like his breaker, it does cost 5. Some of his moves are a little bit projectile-y, and you can strike out most of those sometimes, or dodge them, or block them, or however you see fit. Dane's interesting. I mean, he's not as bad, but he's not like one of the greatest leagues. He's very goodly balanced. I mean, there was just like little things that I really couldn't put him any higher over the other releases of this year. So I gave him the 11 spot because honestly, Skull actually became better now since the update. Now that he kept his counters, he was more playable. So if you max out his talents, his breakers were going to do more damage on sweeps and kicks, and bulk adds to that oomph. So he kind of starts our little top 10 here of 2022 releases. So definitely Skull definitely pans out and different from most of the other characters. Good breaker, middle slot, quick, and can deal some damage when you need it. Number 9, Zeal Green. Zeal Green was a really good start to the 2022 year. Had a shield that only costs 4, and his strike only cost a 2, so it had good baits. The strike is a jump, so that can be situational, but those punches are worth every penny. With a proper setup, you can do a lot with him, so he's definitely gets the number 9 slot because he does have a decent shield that does lead into more of his combos in the middle slot, and that is saying something about this character. Number 8, Ninja Steel Pink. Quick middle. I have a little problem with the shield being a 4. I mean, maybe push it down to a 3. I could increase her a little bit on the tier list of releases. But since he don't have that, I am not going to bother. So she is nice. She is pretty decent. Frog Whip is blockable as fuck, though. Strike does not cause a flip since it's a 2-hitter, and then the third hit is the stun. So I made her 8, but the fact that she had an instant middle slot means you can kind of spam that and the arrows back and forth, doing some extra damage, but it didn't make her enough to say, yeah, I consider her like top 3 of characters to use in 2022. I honestly should have released her earlier. Number 7, Alyssa definitely is strong, great middle slot. Primaries are good for attacking, a 2-cost breaker that can do 4,000 damage. I've seen it. She's definitely really solid in what she can do. Good fake outs. Good middle overall since it's 4s and it's 2s and 3s, so she has more combo potential than most of the 2022 releases, besides some we're going to name now. But yeah, Alyssa definitely made it to this top 8 for sure in my book as a strong Wild Force Ranger. Number 6 goes to Vesper because she does have a super, and super skills do end up winning you the matches at the end of the day when it comes to challenge brackets or any type of tournament setting. Vesper special leads into pretty much an end game combo, and her moveset's actually pretty solid since they actually buffed her on release since they put the move from 5 to 4, and that was solid to give Vesper that edge in battle. Definitely consider at least in the top 6 of like the characters released this year. Viper gets number 5, very strong, versatile. That flame kiss is very annoying. I don't know why I can't read. It's a very tricky flame kiss. I don't know why. Good breaker slot as well, so she does have some oomph with that pressure. But definitely pretty strong evil villain leader of this year nonetheless. Definitely could take the top 5 spot for doing what she does. Could you exchange her for a Ninja Steel Pink Ideal or Vesper? Yeah, you could, but I think Viper's actually a little bit better because she does have that mix-up game, and it's pretty strong since there are more breakers in the middle for that mix-up game, which gives her more of the edge in combat. Number 4 is Vengeance. As much as I want to make him number top 3, he was definitely a good, solid, legendary leader of 2022 release. Can do a good amount of damage, had instant attacks in the middle like no one's business. could minus energy, have a good combo, and a super that can end the game with a nice damage output, and you can finish up from there. So Vengeance definitely kind of took this top four spot with the others here, but we're going to top three. But yeah, Vengeance was another solid release. Zyto, I actually had to put down to three, though I do like the kit of transforming your things to strikes, shields, breakers. That's great and all, but sometimes a super skill can overshadow even mostly that, depending on the character. And these top two kind of do take the cake on that, depending how they're played, etc. But Zyto definitely stayed in the top three of release of 2022 and on the meta tier list. So I do like still playing Zyto. Aisha is definitely like a very good, solid meta for the case of having good breaker setups, because they do go the distance. So if your opponent is wasting all their energy, you can pretty much use your breakers to catch up and not waste your underground attack for a free block. You just try to bait out with your breakers, etc. Try to get it away or dodge a projectile, or so on and so forth. I mean, whatever gets you around with Aisha here. She's really solid. Can do what she does best. Good combos. I mean, her super legit wins you the game because you're building it and you can kill your opponent from all those breaker combos. So yeah, definitely a very strong 2 contender. And of course, number 1 definitely goes to Gokai Silver. Very strong, very stupid. Will probably get nerfed in a couple more months. Even though they pushed the beam up to a 4, the only thing you can really block on this character is probably the shield, but you gotta really predict it. The breaker, I think they might slow down just a tad bit, just so people can counter it, just like they did for Blaze. So he becomes like a dead character, but we'll wait and see how they work him out. But to me, right now, he is definitely a very strong leader in today's meta, and one of the strongest releases in 2022. So yeah, who would have thunk it? Obviously me. But anyways, so that's pretty much your 2002 Legacy War character list. That was everyone that was released this last year, and the ones that stood out the most, that will stand out the most a while, are definitely those maybe top 8 will definitely stand out the most, depending on how you use those characters. The rest will probably get like buffed more in the future, but Skull definitely can be a contender for the top 10. That's why I put him at 10. 11 and 13 is like, but 10 and up is like, yeah, they're possible. Very possible stuff. Anyways. Oh, I'm still filming. Oh, I'm tired. But yeah, that's pretty much your Gokai Silver. So yeah, that's your Legacy War tier list, Hemis, or your top characters that were good on release in 2022. Y'all be good. Y'all stay safe. We'll see you all another time.